Greetings, fellow adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome, friends, to our video dedicated to Tony Kaye musician. Let's dive right in and uncover its wonders. Anthony John Selvidge, born 11 January 1945, known professionally as Tony Kaye, is an English keyboardist, best known as a founding member of the progressive rock band Yes. Born into a musical family, Kaye was classically trained and intended to become a concert pianist before he developed an interest in jazz and contemporary rock and pop music. He joined several groups through the years, including the Federals, Johnny Taylor's Star Combo, Jimmy Winston and His Reflections, and Bittersweet. From 1968 to 1971, Kaye was a member of Yes and played on their first 3 albums. He then formed Badfinger and relocated to Los Angeles in 1974, after which he toured with David Bowie and joined Detective. Kaye then played in Badfinger and is featured on their final studio album in 1981. He returned to Yes in 1983 for their most commercially successful period before he left in 1994. Kaye has since been involved with several projects with Billy Sherwood and is a current member of CIRCA. From 2009 to 2011, the two were also members of the supergroup Yoso with members of Toto. In 2017, Kaye was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Yes. With the foundation laid, let's embark on a journey into early life. Kaye was born on 11 January 1945 in Leicester to Winifred and Norman. He grew up in a working-class family in North London, with 4 brothers. His grandmother was a concert pianist and his grandfather a jazz saxophonist. Upon her death, she left Kaye her grand piano, which he played on when he was little. At age 4, Kaye began formal piano lessons with Miss Flanagan, who became a strong influence on him musically and philosophically. By the time he reached 8, he had started to enjoy playing and displayed the ability to recite several classical music pieces. Kaye took part in his first concerts at 12 in solo and duet piano performances. He continued lessons until he turned 18. Kaye aspired to pursue study at the Royal College of Music in London to become a concert pianist, but he developed an interest in other music once he heard jazz musicians Count Basie and Duke Ellington. He was also inspired by Victor Borch. During his time at grammar school, he formed a jazz trio with friends, and at 15, became a member of the Leicester-based Danny Rogers Orchestra, playing 4 gigs a week. The leader put Kaye on a postal course in arrangement. Kaye also received lessons in the clarinet and played the instrument as part of a big band. After Kaye left school, he chose not to pursue classical piano due to the heavy competition and a lack of self-belief. He also wished to avoid teaching music, which led to his 3-year enrollment at Leicester Art College studying advertising and design while performing in groups or the big band in his spare time. Kaye was asked to leave the college before he could graduate, a trip to Europe having left him mixed up and dissatisfied. Brace yourself for an enlightening exploration of early bands as we dive into its profound implications. By the early years, Kaye had abandoned his classical background in favor of pop and rock music. He had moved to London and visited the Marquee Club to watch bands play, including keyboardist Graham Bond, whose style became a strong influence. Kaye had acquired a Vox Continental, a transistor-based combo organ, while in the big band and until seeing Bond, had played it like a piano. Kaye landed a position in the Federals through an advertisement in Melody Maker and played on their singles recorded between 1963 and 1967, mainly a covers and comedy show band. The group opened for Roy Orbison for a European tour in 1965. Kaye then became a member of Yellow Passion Loaf and Johnny Taylor's Star Combo, followed by Jimmy Winston and His Reflections, also known as Winston's Farms. Also that year he toured Europe once more, this time with French singer Johnny Hallyday. Kaye then had a brief stint as a member of Bittersweet. Prepare yourself for an eye-opening discussion on Yes in the upcoming portion of this video. In 1968, Kaye was invited to attend rehearsals with members of Mabel Greer's Toy Ship a London-based psychedelic rock band who were forming a new, full-time group. He was approached by bassist Chris Squire after singer John Anderson had met Kaye some time before and suggested him. After a successful audition, they renamed themselves Yes and began touring nationwide from August 1968. By the end of the year, the band had earned enough money to purchase a Hammond organ for Kaye. During his first tenure in Yes, Kaye played on their first 3 studio albums, Yes 1969, Time and a Word 1970, and the Yes album 1971. The latter includes Kaye's first songwriting credit, which he received on the group-written track Yours Is No Disgrace. To promote the album, Kaye embarked on the band's first concert tour of the US in June and July 1971. During rehearsals for their next album, Fragile 1971, Kaye began to have problems with new guitarist Steve Howe, who kept insisting the band expand their sound with electronic keyboards such as the Mellotron and synthesizer. Kaye disagreed with this approach and preferred organ and piano. Kaye was fired and quickly replaced by Rick Wakeman of the Strawbs, who re-recorded some parts originally written by Kaye, including sections on Heart of the Sunrise. Kaye later revealed that Yes's manager Brian Lane gave him approx. $62,000 in 2018 dollars in exchange for all of his royalties. In this part of the video, we'll be diving deep into Flash, Badger, Detective, and Badfinger and unraveling its profound impact. Kaye joined several groups for the remainder of the decade. He played on the self-titled debut album by Flash, a band founded by ex-Yes guitarist Peter Banks but declined their offer to become a full-time member. Kaye then formed Badger with bassist David Foster, a friend of John Anderson's who also co-wrote some early Yes songs. They released One Live Badger 1973, recorded in concert with John Anderson producing, and White Lady 1974, recorded in New Orleans with producer Alan Toussaint featuring Jackie Lomax on vocals. Kaye also reunited with Yes bandmate Chris Squire and new Yes drummer Alan White when they appeared on the Eddie Harris album EH in the UK 1973, playing on I Waited For You and Conversations of Everything and Nothing. Shortly after releasing Badger's White Lady, Kaye recalled the group wasn't really doing anything and decided to leave England and relocate to Los Angeles. He initially settled in Hyatt House on Sunset Boulevard next door to Led Zeppelin drummer John Bonham. Kaye developed an addiction to alcohol and barbiturates during this time and underwent a successful withdrawal program, after which he remained sober. In January 1976, during a birthday party held for Kaye at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, he met David Bowie's tour manager and accepted his offer to join Bowie in Jamaica to prepare for his upcoming tour in support of Station to Station. Their solo 1976 tour reached North America and Europe from February to May 1976. Kaye is featured on the bonus live tracks on the 1990 and 2010 reissues of the album. In 1977, Kaye had returned to Los Angeles and joined Detective with singer Michael DeBars. The group signed to Led Zeppelin's label Swan Song Records and toured as the opening act for Kiss. Kaye played on their 2 studio albums, Detective 1977 and It Takes One to Know One 1977, as well as the promotional-only release, Live from the Atlantic Studios 1978. Around 1979, Kaye took up work in music production and management in the Los Angeles area in various capacities for around 3 years. In 1979, Kaye accepted an invitation to join Badfinger for their upcoming North American tour. He was unaware of the band's turbulent history until he read a 1998 biography on them. Despite the tour containing dates at really shitty clubs with small audiences, Kaye proved to be a strong performer. Drummer Peter Clark recalled that at each gig, Kaye had requested venue staff have 2 ice buckets, 1 for each hand, ready so he could put his hands in them after the show. Clark added, they were like balloons afterwards, just throbbing. Kaye spoke highly of the tour and the band got along well, but they lacked the right management. He resumed management work at its conclusion, but returned in late 1980 after he was chosen to play in a new line-up. Early rehearsals turned sour, and Kaye went on to bring in Richard Bryans on drums and Glenn Sherber on guitar. Kaye is featured on Say No More, their final studio album of all new material, released in 1981. Brace yourself for a deep dive into Return to Yes as we explore its impact and relevance in our evolving narrative. In 1982, Kaye was invited to form a new band with Squire Alan White and singer and guitarist Trevor Robin. Much of their new material derived from a set of demos produced by Robin that displayed a more pop-oriented and commercial style of rock music, and Squire thought of Kaye as their ideal keyboardist due to his simpler, more textural approach. Kaye accepted Squire's offer and entered rehearsals in London under the name Cinema with producer Trevor Horn for 90,125. However, conflicts between Kaye and Horn led to the former's exit after several months, leaving Robin to handle the remaining keyboard parts. By mid-1983, John Anderson had also joined the band as lead singer, and it was decided, after some hesitation, to rename this new lineup Yes. Kaye, in the meantime, had rejoined Badfinger and gone off on a North American tour and was replaced by Eddie Jobson. When this tour ended in October, Kaye accepted an offer by management to return to Yes, where he and Jobson would share keyboard duties. This, however, did not sit well with Jobson, who left shortly thereafter. 90,125 had included greater use of MIDI technology, which reignited Kaye's interest in contemporary keyboards, unlike the time of his first departure from Yes. After touring in 1988, Yes remained inactive for 2 years. Around this time, Kaye committed to a solo instrumental album for Cinema Records and Lee Abrams. The album was fully written, but it was recorded with a drum machine which Kaye grew tired of, and he felt the music better suited with vocals and backing musicians, so he abandoned the work. From 1990 to 1992, Kaye was a part of the 8-member formation of Yes that produced Union and played on the album's supporting tour. The tour marked the first time Kaye and Rick Wakeman met and worked together. In contrast to Wakeman's battery of keyboards, Kaye adopted a simpler setup of 2 Yamahas. Kaye stayed with Yes for their next album Talk, which featured the 90,125 and Big Generator line-up, and which credits Kaye on the Hammond organ only, the rest of the keyboard parts being performed by Robin. On their 1994 tour, however, Kaye did play most keyboard parts, using master keyboards which played additional sounds and samples from racks placed beneath the stage. Kaye remained in Yes until 1994. He was absent from the group during filming of the video to Owner of a Lonely Heart, the lead single from 90,125, shots of Jobson having been removed from the sequence as much as possible. A second video for Owner featuring the band with Kaye was subsequently produced. 90,125 became Yes's highest-selling album, which was supported by a 12-month world tour. Kaye operated a MIDI system of analog and digital keyboards on the tour, 2 of which he played on stage, which controlled additional samples and sound effects from 12 keyboards placed backstage that were co-handled by keyboard programmer Casey Young. His solo spot on the tour, titled C, is included on the live album Live, The Solos. Yes then recorded Big Generator with Kaye playing a majority of the keyboard parts with some minor assistance from Trevor Robin. Before recording, Kaye and his technician Robbie Eagle built a MIDI keyboard system to his specifications. In 1995, Kaye and Robin left Yes, Kaye's offer to stay on in a management capacity having been turned down. In the upcoming portion, we'll be dissecting a recent activity to gain a comprehensive understanding of its implications. Between the mid-years and early years, Kaye was largely retired from the music industry, although he did appear on a number of archival Yes releases, including Something's Coming, the BBC recordings, and The Word Is Live. Kaye went on to play in the Neil Young tribute band The Neil Deal, and assisted in production duties for his wife, actress and singer Daniela Torkia. Around 2006, Yes member Billy Sherwood asked Kaye to play on some Pink Floyd tribute albums that he was overseeing. Kaye had been out of the music industry for some time and was partly residing in the Cayman Islands. A big fan of Pink Floyd, Kaye could not refuse the offer and got my bout of retirement. During the recording sessions, the pair entered discussions on forming a new band, which led to the announcement of CIRCA in 2007. Since transporting Kaye to Sherwood's studio and gigs was too difficult, he plays the software synthesizer Hammond from a laptop through a controller keyboard. Both formed the short-lived supergroup Pioso, which formed in 2009 and disbanded in 2011. In 2018, Kaye joined Yes on stage as a special guest for their Cruise to the Edge dates and for the American dates on their 50th anniversary tour. Kaye's debut solo album, End of Innocence, was released in September 2021. The album is a musical interpretation of his thoughts and feelings over the events surrounding September 11 attacks in 2001 and the aftermath. As we progress, let's shine a spotlight on style and reception and examine its intricate interplay within our topic. Kaye is known for his more simple, more supported style of playing and avoids long and improvised solos. Yes biographer Tim Morse named Kaye a gentleman of rock for his polite demeanor and his distinguished looks. Longtime Yes producer and mixer Eddie Offord named Kaye as one of the best Hammond organists. Guitarist Steve Howe named Kaye a good group member and praised his contributions to Yes. Jeff Downes said he had always admired Kaye's playing and the sound he got from the Hammond. Moving ahead, let's uncover the hidden gems within personal life and discover their significance. In 1974, Kaye left England and moved to Los Angeles, California. He has not acquired American citizenship. In 2011, he stated Sherman Oaks as his place of residence. In 2019, Kaye relocated to Sarasota, Florida. Kaye has tinnitus in his left ear. He was once engaged to Squire's stepdaughter Carmen, but he later married actress and singer-songwriter Daniela Torchia. Kaye is a keen tennis player and played in professional tournaments in the US. Kaye began a series of small businesses apart from music. He has been involved in a number of legal actions against Yes's former manager Brian Lane over alleged unpaid royalties. Kaye unsuccessfully auditioned for the part of the Hammond player in the mock documentary This Is Spinal Tap. In the upcoming section, we'll be shining a light on solo. End of Innocence, 10 September 2021. As we move forward, let's uncover the untold stories and fascinating intricacies of as band member. With the Federals' boot of Keep On Dancing With Me 1963, Brazilin, A Persian Market 1963, Marlena Please Believe Me 1964, Twilight Time, Lost and Alone 1964, A Bucketful of Lovely 1965, What I'd Say 1966, Dance with the Dolly of Climb 1967. With Winston's Thumbs Real Crazy Apartments No White 1967, released on Nuggets II Original Artifacts from the British Empire and Beyond 2001. With Yes studio album Seas 1969, Time and a Word 1970, The Yes album 1971, 90,000, 125 1983, Big Generator 1987, Union 1991, Talk 1994. Live albums Alive, The Solos 1985, Union Live 2011, Union 30, Live 2021 box set including Arct covering 1991-1992 period. Compilations Yesterday's 1975 Classic Yes 1981 Yes Year's 1991 4-CD box set. With Flash 1972. With Badger Own Live Badger 1973, White Lady 1974, Dean's List 1998 compilation. With Detective 1977, It Takes One to Know One 1978. With Badfinger Say No More 1981. With Sikichika 2007 CIRCA Live 2008 CIRCA HQ 2009 CIRCA Overflow 2009, and so on 2011, Live From Here, There and Everywhere 2013, Valley of the Windmill 2016, With Yosemite 2010, Billy Sherwood and Tony Kaye, Live in Japan 2016. Without wasting any more time, let's jump into the fascinating world of A Sideman. Topodiddle Witchy Taita Charisma, 1969, 7 single, also released as Wichitato, later included on Refugees, a Charisma Records anthology 2009, and as a bonus track on the 2007 re-release of the Bonzo Dog Band's Kinsham Bonzo Dog Band Let's Make Up and Be Friendly 1972, Eddie Harris EH in the UK Atlantic 1974, Moog on I Waited For You and Conversations of Everything and Nothing with Chris Squire, Alan White, Steve Winwood, Albert Lee. Murray Head Say It Ain't So 1975, Piano on Someone's Rockin' My Dreamboat. David Bowie, Station to Station 1976, Kaye only appears on live bonus tracks on the 1991 and 2010 reissues. Various artists, Pigs and Pyramidon all-star lineup performing the songs of Pink Floyd 2002. Various artists, Back Against the Wall 2005, Daniela Torquia, Have No Fear 2005. Also Spanish language version of same album, Sin Miedo. Various artists, Return to the Dark Side of the Moon 2006. Various artists, From Here to Infinity 2007, re-released as Rock Infinity 2007. Various artists, Leadbox, The Ultimate Tribute to Led Zeppelin 2008. Various artists, Abbey Road, a tribute to the Beatles 2009. John Witton, Raised in Captivity 2011. Songs The Human Condition and Don't Misunderstand Me, The Prig Collective 2012. Various artists, Songs of the Century, an all-star tribute to Supertramp 2012. The Prig Collective 2012. Edison's Lab EP 2012. Various artists, The Fusion Syndicate, Atom Smashing Song 2012. Various artists, Fly Like an Eagle, an all-star tribute to Steve Miller Band 2013. On Take the Money and Run, David Bowie, Live Nassau Coliseum 76 2017. Peter Banks, Be Well, Be Safe, Be Lucky, The Anthology 2018. David Cross and Peter Banks Crossover 2020. Your feedback helps me improve, so please take a moment to leave a comment or review.